Yeah. Yo. All over the world, we about to go. Truth is coming out, that's what you need to know. Blacks and Hispanics is the Israelites you need to know. You ain't never gonna hear this from a pastor though. You done ended in the den with some lions. You done ended in the den with some lions.
Get into what the white man didn't teach you. Because everybody talk about the dream, but nobody talk about the assassination.
That's right.
Nobody talk about Malcolm X. They don't say a damn word about Malcolm X during this time period. The only time they talked about Fred Hampton was for a movie to make money.
Right.
Nope. The Black Panthers, you know about that in black circles, but they ain't gonna push that either. So we're gonna show y'all some history that was never taught to us here in America.
Bring it out.
Makai, I'm gonna let you flow with it, man.
All right. Bring up that first article. Because this gets into the insidious nature of Esau and how.
Whoa.
I know, man. That went over 80%.
Hold on. Hold on, y'all.
Hey, get the number. Call in if you know what insidious means.
Call in if you know what insidious means.
So here we go with the word of the week.
All right, word of the week.
It's insidious. Just used it. So IT, can we get that real quick?
863-877-0693.
Can we get somebody with the dictionary and a thesaurus handy? But yeah. Type that in. Go ahead, real quick.
Hey, just real quick. Officer Michael, how many times have you used insidious this week?
One time, just now.
Yeah, one time.
One time, just now. It's insidious.
That was insidious behavior.
It's insidious. You use that word on the show.
Insidious means proceeding in a gradual, subtle way, but with harmful effects.
All right. I like that. All right.
Stealthy, subtle, surreptitious, sneaking, and cunning.
You on point. You all right. You used it correctly this week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So keep on going with with the white man.
So with the insidiousness of the white man, we have COINTELPRO, and many of our people have no idea what that is. So we're gonna get into it right now.
Let's get it.
All right. It says the COINTELPRO agenda to prevent the rise of a black messiah.
Hold on, pause. Hey, so can they see that, IT? Can they see that picture that's on the screen right now? Or are they looking at Makai? I want y'all to look at this. These are some of the leaders. And all of these individuals have been assassinated. All these leaders all over the world, not just in America, all over the world.
I have to have a discrepancy here because we, the tribe of Benjamin.
Is that Rastafari up there?
Haile Selassie.
I'm gonna go with my brother right here. It's Selassie the first. I don't know where they get the Selassie high.
Go ahead, scroll down.
That brother was not killed, man.
Benjamin.
I'm not getting ready to say. I didn't
Y'all don't know.
Y'all never heard he was assassinated.
Y'all don't know the history.
A white man wrote this article.
We're going to learn something today.
Scroll down.
Apparently so.
Rastafari.
If you believe in conspiracy theories, he was killed.
Go ahead.
Oh, man.
In the past, the white world has worked diligently to prevent the rise of a unified black movement. Any and every charismatic black man or woman was targeted, imprisoned, discredited, deported, or assassinated.
So this is the history that they're not showing you. When you rise up and you try to bring your people to that level, you're going to be targeted. You're going to be imprisoned. You're going to be discredited, deported, or assassinated. This is the black history they don't teach. Go ahead.
From Patrice Lumumba and Marcus Garvey to Kwame Nkrumah, Assata Shakur, black history is filled with examples of potential messiahs who have been neutralized in very public ways. Black spies and traitors were used to destroy movements from the inside out. And on the national level, politicians were bribed to maintain the system of white supremacy within their borders.
So, this is some heavy stuff. Give me Luke 20 and 20 real quick.
Bring it out.
The first man to be ratted out or spied on through COINTELPRO was Christ.
That's right.
through Christ. And that's why the same treatment from all these other men, they read the Bible. The spirits are the same. It's the same spirits. They might didn't know who they was, but the white man knew they played their role every time.
That's right.
They did the same stuff. You got that?
The book of Luke, chapter 20 and verse 20. And they watched him.
And what?
And they watched him.
And they watched him. Read.
And sent forth spies.
Hold on. They did what?
And sent forth spies.
So remember, Christ said, no man is greater than his master. The servant ain't greater than his master. Whatever they do to me, they're going to do it to you.
Right.
So we know we got spies amongst us. You other camps, y'all got spies amongst you.
Yeah, you better recognize.
You brothers and sisters that have a little bit of understanding of knowledge that's moving your people forward, you got spies amongst you. The difference between y'all and us is we keeping the commandments of God.
That's right.
So we ain't worried about it. Christ said, upon this rock, I build, upon Peter's, what do you say? How you say?
Upon this rock, I build my church.
Yeah. And what is it? And the gates of hell
not prevail.
shall not prevail. That's the difference. This movement is the greatest movement on the face of the earth.
Absolutely.
Believe that. Keep reading.
Which should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words.
Read.
That so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor.
You see that? That's always been the mindset. And that's what we see that has been manifested in our history. But this ain't what the white man gonna teach you.
Nah.
He gonna teach you that Jesus Christ was a man for all nations. And he went up on that cross and blood shed for all mankind. But that ain't what happened.
That's the American dream.
That ain't what happened. The white man paid off Judas. Judas turned him in.
Right.
And he died at the hands of Roman persecution for the Israelites.
That's that olive-colored Jesus doctrine.
Hey, wait, go ahead, Mike.
Just like the Judas in the movie, killed himself. Once you realize what he done, he killed himself.
There you go.
It's like the one that Judas and Black Messiah.
Yeah. William O'Neill.
Yeah.
Willie O.
You know, when I read through this, the question came up: why COINTELPRO? Why they would do this, right?
Right.
Because Esau knows, like you said, they play their part. They understand that if a black man rises up, they done.
They done.
Right. It's the signs of the time, like it be having the doomsday clock and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It go right back to what we started at with the Super Bowl.
Right.
If you let that charismatic leader go, he's going to destroy everything that's going on.
Right.
You think Malcolm X was okay with the Super Bowl? He just didn't have a radio show where he could broadcast. They wasn't okay with that. It's like this society is the opposite of us. He's adverse of us.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, keep going through this article. This thing is crazy. This article's heavy, man.
A watershed moment for the war on blacks was the establishment of the counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO, that was formed with one primary objective: to prevent the rise of a new black messiah like Marcus Garvey. This article will discuss exactly how this campaign to prevent black unity and power evolved, and why the world is primed for the rise of a new and more powerful black movement. Early wars against potential black messiahs. Early on, the United States government realized that it could not use blunt force to destroy the ideas of black self-empowerment. After all, wouldn't that contradict America's own constitution?
Hey, I want to make sure y'all, this is a very, very heavy point. And it goes back to what you just said. You was on point, brother.
All praise.
Insidious behavior. They have to do it in a manner where you can't see what's going on.
Right.
Where you would never think, no. They ain't doing that to hurt you. Welfare is a good thing. It's for the welfare of the people. Meanwhile, in black writing, you know how the commercials come on. This drug is to help you with HIV and STD. Warning: you may do this. Right. That's everything the white man give you. It got that tape behind it.
Right.
He give you welfare. You can't have a man in the household. He give you food stamps or something like that. Something come behind it. He never gives you something without taking something away. Never.
But always to make you think he's doing you good.
There you go. Hey,
can I get some?
Weak and lazy, bro. All that makes the people weak and lazy. All those food stamp stuff.
Yep.
Right. Hey, can I get a scripture right quick? Matthew 2. Matthew 2 and 3.
Hey man, and call in if you got any questions or comments. 863
Bring it out.
877 0693. We want to hear your opinion.
I knew somebody would call in and say they didn't know what insidious means.
Man.
We ain't got that call yet. Hey, read that.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together,
Wait a minute. 2 and 2. I'm sorry.
saying, the book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 2, saying, where is he that is born king of the Jews? For we have seen a star in the east and are come to worship him.
Uh-huh.
When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born.
Jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7.
No, at verse 8. Just
Verse 8.
Yep.
And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also.
That I may come and worship him also.
Right.
But we all know that Herod sought to kill Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to your point, they have that demeanor and that posture to make it seem like, hey, I want to, I have good intent.
Yep.
But they always got war in their hearts when it comes to us.
Right.
Always.
All right.
Go back to the article. It's a lot. And however you was going to do it, Makai, you can roll with it.
Yes, sir.
Scroll down.
Although the Jamaican-born Garvey might at one time have qualified as a radical, Hoover described him as such. He was nonetheless the most prominent Negro agitator in the world. Under his leadership, the UNIA, which to this day remains the largest organization of African Americans ever assembled, grew to membership of over 3 million souls worldwide. Hoover launched an inquiry into Garvey's activities in August 1919. This inquiry laid the foundation for what was become the COINTELPRO program, the first preemptive war against the rise of a black messiah.
Hey, now what was we going on Friday night? The war on what? The war on drugs.
Right.
So as you said, they had to use insidious words.
Insidious
Insidious
yes,
words. Because it couldn't be just as outward as it was during COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO was, okay. The first time they said against the rise of the black messiah. Now they say, people got TV, they got articles, they can see this. Let's call it the war on drugs.
Right.
But it's the same method every single time. Mm-hmm. And I just want to know, how many of y'all ever heard of the UNIA growing up?
Briefly.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. It had 3 million members.
Right. Yeah.
Black members that were supporting the cause. Why was this never went over in black history?
Nah.
This the black history they're not going to teach you. A lot of people don't even know who Marcus Garvey is. They don't even know who the man is.
It's a token name.
Right.
Hey, you could grab Ephesians 6 and 12 real quick. Because, like, with Kat bringing out, when I read this thing, I was just tripping. I was sitting on my couch. I'm like, yo, this is crazy because we go out and teach our people we at war. And they look at us like, war? There's no bombs dropping. The war is flying right over your head. Every time we turn on the TV, that's war. Every time we go to camp and ask what's the image of Christ, and they point to that white man, you in a battlefield. Read that real quick.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Right, because this battle is not carnal. Esau already said it in the beginning of this article. And we can't just be blunt force trauma.
Right.
Because we got to uphold the Constitution, at least make it look like that, right? Read.
But against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world.
Now, last time I checked, who's ruling this world?
Right.
Right.
When I turn on the TV, I say, falling up the steps.
Right.
That's who I see ruling the world. And that's who we fighting against, right? Esau, the white man. Read.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
That's who the war is against. And he's fighting a spiritual war against us. Make it plain, Esau be searching out sin.
Yep.
He search out sin to make money off of that thing. And that thing flies right over our head because right now, a lot of sisters putting on a blonde wig, getting ready for a Super Bowl party. A lot of brothers is getting ready to go whore out them sisters at the Super Bowl party. A lot of drinks, a lot of weed smoke. Esau is making all this money off of our people because they don't realize they're in a battlefield right now.
Hey, a lot of getting shot.
Right.
Kodak Black got last night.
Yeah.
What does when it gets shot, go out and party?
Hey, that's heavy what you say because the police tonight, they going to let all that stuff go down. You know what I'm saying? They turn a blind eye to that. And tonight, the pimps, they got it made. They're going to be invited to the parties with all the Edomites.
Right. Go ahead. Keep going through this article.
All right. Actually, can we pull up the first video? You got the timestamps on there for me. So just go ahead and go to that first time set. We might do the first two.
Yeah, we know what she is.
Play that.
Okay, they got it. Cool.
The FBI is a government agency supposedly intended to protect American civilians from the worst criminals imaginable, from domestic terrorists to serial killers. But who do you run to when the FBI wants you dead? It may seem like the high-concept premise of the latest Jason Bourne movie, but this was actually the terrifying reality faced by a number of political leaders and public figures as a result of COINTELPRO, the FBI's clandestine series of projects intended to bring American activism to its knees. But what was COINTELPRO really? When did it happen? Who were its targets? And what terrifying illegal methods were employed under its purview? There's only one way to find out. But be warned, by the time this video is over, the FBI won't seem like the brave crime stoppers the movies often paint them as. Under COINTELPRO, which stands for Counterintelligence Program, they were responsible for everything from psychological warfare to cold-blooded murder, all committed against mostly non-violent individuals whose greatest crime was questioning the system. Just how far the system will go to silence these questions will alarm and terrify you. And at the heart of it all was FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, who opened a nightmarish Pandora's box of government overreach and illegal domestic espionage. The year is 1950.
That's it. So right here, what really stuck out to me was that even though it's kind of giving you the history on COINTELPRO, what they tried to sugarcoat a little bit was they kill mostly non-violent people.
Right.
Well, if that's the case, who are the violent ones that they went after? Because with COINTELPRO, you only hear about them going after our people pretty much.
Yep.
You had the American Indian Movement, the Brown Berets, the Black Panthers, the SPLC, SNCC, all the organizations that got disrupted to dismantle based on this program, this insidious program, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it begs the question: who were the violent ones? What were their names, and why did we not hear about them? If that's the case, if that's really what happened, exactly,
they don't exist.
Exactly.
They do that to try to make them. It's the same thing. Was that? Oh, that Captain Tazawam went over the other day when they tried to come up with a narrative for slavery. They knew who they were taking, but they had to say, "Hey, these people don't believe in God. They infidels, so on and so forth." They doing the same thing here. Now they saying, "Hey, these people are violent." So on and so forth. So it's the same story.
Exactly.
Because you're gonna go back to the article, but yeah, the article had touched on that too. Because pretty much they called out other black leaders. They was non-threats. They wasn't even on the radar. They was like how Malcolm X, he was on the radar.
Right.
Because they felt threatened, like he's gonna organize and this could be a problem. But
there you go.
Like we was talking about what's the other guy's name? Farrakhan and them. They was like non-factor. Martin non-factor because Martin's pushing white man Jesus. So it's like. That's further. This is America.
Right. Actually, jump to the next timestamp on there. Yep, 338. Play that.
Dr. T.R.M. Howard, a prominent black surgeon, entrepreneur, and civil rights leader, was critical of the FBI's inaction on a number of infamous hate crimes.
Pause the video for a second. Just to give you some background, what they're stating in this video is that initially COINTELPRO's target was communism. Which kind of, when you look at America's history, that's translated into or segued into a lot of different things against black people, which started with communism. But this is how it got pointed toward in the direction of black people. They're saying that this man right here is the reason. Go on.
The murders of Emmett Till and George Washington Lee. This prompted Hoover to turn the dangerous attentions of Sullivan and his FBI crony.
Dumb some junk down, bro. They got footage and the videos of these people. They always put a cartoon like it ain't real. You got the picture. You got the image of the man.
Yeah.
He saw the devil, man. I'm sorry to cut the little video off, but I'm looking at the people smiling and stuff like little cartoons. Nah.
Hey, Esau! They want to make it.
Going on.
They want to make it impersonal.
Yeah.
It's just like
sensitized.
Yeah. I read in 1969 they had color photos. You know there was color photos back then. Yeah. They make all of that imagery black and white to make it seem like it was further than what it was.
Right.
It's like ain't no way. It's crazy. Esau is deep. His thoughts are deep, man. Deep. Go ahead.
To black civil rights groups, starting with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, on the grounds that they were supposedly hotbeds of subversive communist activity. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference was just the tip of the iceberg, though. During their 15-year heyday, COINTELPRO would infiltrate and attack the Black Panther Party, anti-Vietnam War organizers, feminist groups, environmentalist and animal rights groups, the Nation of Islam, the Young Lords Puerto Rico Independence Group, and the American Indian Movement. In their very minor defense, they also did take on the Ku Klux Klan, but when you need to compare yourself to the Klan to have moral high ground, you're not doing well. Perhaps their most infamous victims were two of the most well-known civil rights leaders in American history, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. It all gets a whole lot worse from here. In 1963, Dr. King gave his iconic I Have a Dream speech during the March on Washington, while generations of people across the world were touched and inspired by this incredible piece of history. The FBI were terrified. Dr. King was dreaming too.
Hold on. Hey, send them that. You sent that IT yet?
Nah.
Send that IT. I want to show y'all something. Y'all may think we lying about what I just said about Esau making the pictures black and white and the videos black and white.
Nope.
We gonna show you something. I'm telling you, this man's thoughts are deep. His thoughts are deep. Send
IT.
Send that to IT. IT, pull
I
that.
send it straight
pull that
to
up.
IT.
There we go. Read that, Makai.
In 1963, the Polar Color Pack film was introduced by Land, and this made it possible to take instant color pictures.
Hold on. They had the technology to make instant color pictures in 1963.
Hell no.
What year was he assassinated? 69?
Yeah, 68, 69.
68.
But the I have a dream speech
right,
was 63.
63. Right. So 5, 6, 7 years later, why is his images still in black and white? Keep reading.
This made it possible to take instant color photos. The process involved was pulling two tabs from the camera, the second of which pulled the film sandwich through the rollers to create the picture.
Right, and this was available on the mainstream. So you know the white man back at the lab, they had some real cameras back. They probably had digital cameras back then.
Damn.
So I'm telling y'all, listen to what we're saying. Do not listen to the white man. Go ahead.
Big for their liking, and they wanted to put him in his place, that place being 6 feet below the ground. Hoover ordered Sullivan to turn his attention to discrediting and destroying King and the movement he'd come to represent. Sullivan subsequently released a horrifically racist statement. In the light of King's powerful demagogic speech, we must mark him now, if we've not done so before, as the most dangerous Negro of the future in this nation from the standpoint of communism, the Negro and national security.
Right, so pause that. So it directly correlates with the tactics we see today. Get the last video, I believe it's video number 6, with the SPLC and what they do. It's a quick little snippet, because what we have to understand is COINTELPRO never went anywhere.
Yep.
COINTELPRO has been in existence from the time that it was created in 1956 all up until today, and they use different non-governmental organizations as their arms of enforcement and information in their efforts to discredit and misrepresent especially black movements. Play that clip.
Hell no.
Is bust up the groups. We try to sow discord among the organizations, show that the people who lead these organizations are hypocrites, and so on, to give people a chance to look at what they've gotten involved in and maybe reconsider it.
And you've seen that work?
It absolutely works. The number one thing I would say that drives people out of hate groups is seeing their leadership corrupt.
Looking to the future.
And
you better shut your white mouth.
You see that's what happens with us in particular, right? They call us Black Hebrew Israelites, that pejorative term. I used another big word.
Oh, Lord. I don't even want to know the definition.
Judgmental. That judgmental term, right? And what they do...
Stephen A. Smith over here.
Wow.
Get some help.
You get help, Jordan. Hire a black coach. Wicked behind.
But what they do is they try and make what we do, they take the good out of it, and they try and make it, everything about it is bad. We hate this, we hate that. When they group us in with movements and organizations like the KKK.
Yep.
Right.
Same sort of thing.
Hey, I can get a script on that real quick.
Come on.
Hey, go to Matthew 26, because we here at IUIC know all about being slandered,
Right.
being mislabeled.
Yep.
And what is the goal of it?
Yep.
Bring it out.
The goal is to attack the followers.
There you go.
That's the whole goal of trying to come at the Messiah, right? Read Matthew 26, read verse 59 first.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 59. Now the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Jesus.
This is what we just watched literally in the video. A council was set up. Now, this council was set up against the true black Messiah.
Right.
But these same efforts are attacked against all the followers that do the same thing for their people, right? False witnesses, liars, right? Read.
Against Jesus to put him to death.
What they said, you know what? You a threat. We want to see you in the ground.
Yep.
So now, once I get you in the ground, jump up to verse 32. Now, 31.
Verse 32. Verse 31. Then Jesus said unto them, all ye shall be offended because of me this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd.
I'm going to get rid of the black leader that's organizing his people. Read.
And the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad.
And the whole movement is going to get shut down.
Right.
But they don't understand. We coming from a biblical standpoint where, guess what? We rising up leaders every minute.
That's right.
That's right.
So you take one down, you just 10 more than popped up.
10 more. Hey, that's the beauty of this thing. That's why they don't know what to do.
Nah.
Hey, I was reading a book, leadership book, and it talks about at the highest level of leadership, you replace yourself. Well, you don't work anymore. When you're the greatest leader, the highest level of leadership is where you walk away because you're not needed and you go do something else. Bishop ain't taught a Sabbath class in like 6-7 months. Right. And the movement is still pushing forward. The classes are still going. Fire. That's how you know he's the greatest leader on the face of the earth.
Absolutely.
The problem is, unlike Malcolm X and unlike Martin Luther King, he already got the men under him on point.
Right.
That's why they can't stop this. And guess what? Under them, he got captains. And under them, he got officers. And under them, we got soldiers. So ain't nothing you can do to stop this movement.
So like Christ, he duplicated himself
There
like
you go.
1,000 times over.
There you go.
What you gonna do?
You can't bring it out. You can't do nothing because it's a spiritual movement. That thing is beautiful. I love seeing it. Love seeing it.
Hey, I want to go back to something right quick. So they accuse Martin Luther King of communism.
Yeah.
No.
What did they accuse him of?
They just
movement.
They said he was kind of with the communism.
Communism was their segue into going after black leaders.
Right.
Okay.
So
that's
they were saying
all.
communists.
That's what I thought I said.
Yeah, you did. Okay. But he said you were being insidious.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm gonna make it plain.
Thank you.
Yes, they were saying they were communists.
Okay, so this is how wicked they plots are. Right. I want to read the definition of it right quick and show you how wicked they plots are.
Communism, political and economic doctrine that aims to replace private property and a profit-based economy with public ownership and communal control of at least the major means of production.
Because didn't they accuse Obama of that? Right. Go ahead. Trying to shift wealth, basically. Go ahead.
E.g., mines, mills, and factories.
Right.
And the natural resources.
Now, those things belong in America in the private sector, right? What else belongs in the private sector in America now? The prison system.
Yep.
The prison system belongs in the private sector. Okay, get Isaiah 42.
Jordan,
get Isaiah 42.
Kick rocks, brother. He doing that too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, get Isaiah 42. You know what I want.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
So if you, this is why he's a threat, because to make those prisons private industry, now you got to do what? You must fill them.
Yep.
You must fill them. And leadership has done stories. I remember they were doing one somewhere in Alabama where they were basically pulling over black men that didn't have records to put records on them.
Yep.
Y'all remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, yeah, we a threat. Right. He was a threat then. We a threat now.
Right.
Same thing. Because he don't teach you nothing. All he teaches is 1 + 2 and 2 + 2, and half the time that ain't right. Or you wasn't paying attention because you was being bad and not in class. So we gonna take you to class today.
Being bad and not in class.
Hey, you know what it is. You finish your work too quick.
Wait a minute.
And they ain't got nothing to give you.
That too.
Yeah.
Because it ain't challenging enough for you.
Right.
There you go. There you go. So let's get into it. What was we at, Makai?
Let's go back to that first video, about the COINTELPRO explained. The last timestamp, 7:19. Yes, sir.
Destroy reputations and lives to achieve their goals, but things were going to get a whole lot worse. While they were trying to manipulate Dr. King into taking his own life, the FBI were stoking the fires of tension among the Nation of Islam and the Organization of Afro-American Unity, both known for their association with civil rights leader El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, better known as Malcolm X. Through COINTELPRO, the FBI widened the rift between Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam, after a sustained harassment campaign involving infiltration, rumor mongering, and the artificial elevation of conflict. The disagreements of Malcolm X and Muhammad turned deadly, and Malcolm X was assassinated by some Nation of Islam gunmen, while the FBI denied.
Hey, didn't they prove that wrong, right?
I have a story. I got it, but we don't have time for this week. I'm gonna show you.
All right, you want to do it next week? Give me the brief story. I just want to know.
The brief story?
Was it the white man or was it our people? As far as who was behind it, I know they probably used that.
Who was behind it? It was a white man, because what they did was they put false charges on his top security.
Right.
Got them locked up. That's how they was to get in there and kill him. So his top two main security that was always with him was in jail on false charges on a plot to blow up the Statue of Liberty.
Wow.
Like a Negro can pull that off.
Right. We don't think like that. We ain't the professor yet.
Right.
That's a plug.
You talking about the Netflix special?
Nah, it's like 10 minutes.
Hey,
okay. Oh, you gotta post that. Yeah, post that to the group.
I watched that Netflix special. I was.
Yeah, that thing was good.
More detail.
Yeah, my man did some research. But the crazy thing about him was he is still Muslim.
Right.
So he in Nation of Islam and all that stuff, but he was such a big advocate for finding out who killed Malcolm X.
Right.
And he found out it was his own organization, but he's still rocking with him.
Right.
What kind of sense does that make?
He know what's behind it. This is what's crazy to me. This thing just explained, like, 2 sentences before it talked about how they infiltrated the organization, they separated all, and then they say, "Oh yeah, but 2 Nation of Islam people killed them."
Yeah,
come on, man. You think we believe that? No, that was y'all behind it. Go back 10 seconds and play it again. This is the Jedi mind trick that the white man pulls on us.
Right, all the time.
Go ahead.
The Nation of Islam, after a sustained harassment campaign involving infiltration, rumor mongering, and the artificial elevation of conflict, the disagreements of Malcolm X and Muhammad turned deadly, and Malcolm X was assassinated.
So they just said all of that stuff before. Now press play. Listen to what they say next.
By some Nation of Islam gunmen. While the FBI denied direct involvement in the assassination, there's extremely credible evidence that their involvement in exacerbating the conflict led to the murder. As the 1960s drew on, the FBI intensified its COINTELPRO operations against prominent civil rights groups, Dr. King and his associates in particular. This project was known as COINTELPRO Black Hate. According to a 1968 FBI memo, they feared that Martin Luther King Jr. was becoming a kind of messiah figure and would unite the various disparate civil rights groups into a force that could truly be reckoned with. If Dr. King ever decided to reject nonviolence and lead to an armed revolt, they would be in serious trouble. King was public enemy number 1.
I want to show y'all something. Now, you know how they say we got the strongest military and we a minority. They say we're the minority. Meanwhile, why are you so scared of this small group of people coming together if we only 1/10 of the population?
Right.
Because there's 300, well, shoot, I think it's like, it's probably still around there, 340 to 350 million people in America. They say we only got 30 or 40 something million blacks.
Yeah.
Probably, about 20, 30 something.
Yeah, they say that because they basically,
Latin Americans.
Yeah, Latins and blacks, same people, but they slice up the pie.
There you go. Yeah. So if we the minority, why they so worried about us coming together? Y'all got things
that's the alley. You just threw the loud pass.
Things that make you go, Yeah, go ahead.
But prominent members of groups like the Black Panthers weren't far behind. All of them had to go. The FBI concluded with numerous police departments in cities with considerable Black Panther presences, including San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Oakland, Philadelphia, and Chicago. They would coordinate raids into the homes of Black Panther members without warrants, during which many of said members were shot dead.
Are they still doing that right now?
Bruh.
Still doing it.
Still.
No knock warrants.
Bring it out.
Hey, this video crazy.
Right.
Showing, but hey, like Mike said, they want to put it in cartoon.
This cartoon is crazy as hell.
They want to put it in cartoon mode, bro. That's the mindset of Esau. They'll tell you the truth, but they still got to water it down. Cartoon characters.
Oh, you mean even though they got pictures of Fred Hampton's body laid out in the bloody pool?
Right, yeah.
There you go. Go ahead, press play.
By police. One particularly infamous example is the assassination of Chicago Black Panther Party chairman Fred Hampton. On December 4th, 1969, Hampton was drugged and incapacitated by deep cover FBI infiltrator William O'Neill. A Chicago PD tactical unit then entered his home at the FBI's behest and murdered Hampton in his bed in cold blood. No crime was too cruel and no tactic was too underhanded for COINTELPRO. With the help of colluding police departments, the FBI was able to launch a brutal harassment campaign against figures in the world of leftist politics and civil rights. Specific individuals like Elmer Geronimo Pratt, a Black Panther Party leader, were accused of crimes they didn't commit and arrested on false pretenses. Evidence was falsified, witnesses were intimidated, and legality was twisted to serve whatever purpose the FBI wanted it to. Pratt spent 27 years in jail for a fallacious murder charge just because he was a member of the Panthers. Members of the KKK, like Gary Thomas Rowe, were kept on the FBI payroll as informants, while still committing atrocities like the 16th Street Baptist Church bomb.
Now this,
and this wasn't in
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know this either until I watched this video. And I know y'all got something on that, so go ahead.
So you mean to tell me the man that blew up the Birmingham church is on the FBI's payroll?
He was on the payroll, and he was supposed to be an insider working against the KKK, but he was the one who pulled the trigger or the bomb on the 16th Street Baptist Church bomb.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. But if you ask the FBI, they say that they didn't have any direct involvement with that.
Give a damn what they say.
Right.
White man's a damn liar.
Can I get a script?
Please.
Come on.
This is pathetic what we looking at. Let's get Psalms chapter 64 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Bring it out.
They do what they do, man. Read that. Read what you got. Read the first verse.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
So that's what they do. They got all these records against us. You know what I'm saying? They go all over the world trying to find evil against our people. But at the same time, they wicked. Like the scriptures say. Keep reading.
But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded.
So the Most High he gonna reveal who the evil people are. Read on.
So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
So all of that they putting against us is coming right back on them. The same people that's telling us we evil is the same people that's evil.
All right.
So it says we need to flee away. You know what I'm saying? This is our opportunity.
Hey, now
showing the history, and we need to flee. But no, it's just gonna go right over our head, and we're gonna continue following the enemy.
You absolutely right, my brother. It said that they came out with something called black hate.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you know they definitely are checking out how we deal with one another in regular day life. That goes into your music, how we talk to each other, the names we call each other. And you can grab Sirach 28 and 9 real quick. Because like I was coming up brought out, right? Never trust your enemy.
Right.
That was crazy. I never knew that they literally had something on file talking about black hate. Right? Read that real quick.
The book of Sirach, chapter 28, verse 9. A sinful man.
What kind of man?
A sinful man.
He saw the devil as a sinful man. Read.
Disquieted friends.
That's what he did when he was talking about they writing letters and putting slander between the two movements to cause division because they feared them actually unifying. Now, what's heavy about it is, although they was into idolatry, as we know, what was the primary source of both religions? The Bible. The Bible. They understood it. It's a matter of time before one of these or two of these going to wake up and eventually going to put two and two together, and we're going to have a problem because they're basing it out of the scriptures. So it says, sinful man disquieted friends, read.
And maketh debate among them that be at peace.
Right. Black hate. Black hate. You still got black hate going on to this very present day when it comes to those two organizations. So that was crazy that white man set up here and manufactured black hate. That's why the scripture says you gotta apply the commandments for real. Because the devil, he ain't dumb, man. He playing on another level with this thing.
No doubt.
Hey, as a matter of fact, you just triggered something. Can I get 1 Peter 5:8? Because that's why the Bible is our defense. We need to make sure that we trying to keep ourselves out of the snares of the devil. And here we're gonna tell you, the devil is a so-called white man.
That's right.
We're not gonna sit here and pretend like it's just some spirit,
cartoon,
right? Or a cartoon that's floating around in the air that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. The devil is being revealed on this earth, just like it says in 2 Thessalonians, and we know who it is by what he does, and it's the white man. Read that for me.
1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant.
Because you can't be on the watch. You know something's coming your way. You can't be on the watch if you drunk, high, in a stupor. Read.
Right. Because your adversary, the devil.
Your adversary, the devil. Edom, Idumea, Esau. Read.
As a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Seeking whom he can take out. And he gonna take you out through these plots, these insidious plots, right? He gonna sow discord amongst brethren, amongst such that be at peace with you, right? And he's going to continue to do these things until he sees the destruction of our people. But guess what? It's a different sort of movement, Esau. We moving different this time. We moving with the power of God, and you're not gonna destroy that thing.
That's right.
That's right.
Hey,
That's
somebody in the comments talking about some we manipulate the scriptures.
Oh wow.
Hey, just tell me that. We watching. If you're watching, are you seeing who's being attacked and who's being targeted? Tell me where all nations had COINTELPRO against them. Show me where all nations had their leaders killed, assassinated. It did not happen.
Right.
The reason why we're being targeted, the reason why this information is not taught to you is because we are the Israelites.
That's right.
If they taught you this, you wouldn't know what the hell's going on. But you don't. That's why you think God loves everybody.
Right.
No, that's not in the scriptures.
They sleep, they stir
Go
the
ahead,
cup.
press play, man.
Hey, you are manipulated.
Right.
That's
You
what
manipulated. Oh, yeah.
Incident. Under COINTELPRO, it was clear that the FBI preferred hardline white supremacist groups to black liberation movements. They funded and supported former members of the 1960s far-right group the Minutemen in their goal to create this secret army organization, essentially a militant terrorist cell that fought against civil rights groups with tactics of intimidation and outright violence.
All right, that's it on that. Let's go back to Article 3.
Hey, our people love the white man. It's a shame.
Hey, I'm looking at it too. Hey, I want to
manipulating the scriptures.
Hey, bring this scripture out. See how this is manipulated.
Right.
Give me Zechariah chapter 11 verse 4.
Uh-oh.
And
Let's see how this one's being manipulated.
All I heard is shooing.
Zechariah 11 and 4.
The book of Zechariah.
8770693. That's the number.
Right.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 4. Thus saith the Lord, my God, feed the flock of the slaughter.
So it says, "Thus saith the Lord," right? Thus saith the Lord.
Right.
Let's see what else the Lord said.
Whose possessor slayed them.
Cap opened up the show with Jeremiah 50 and 33.
Right.
We all being possessed over here by our look at your last name.
Right.
Go ahead.
Bring it out.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
We had no direct involvement in what happened.
Right.
Go ahead.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
How we manipulate that one?
There you go.
They telling on this.
Bring it out.
They still don't see it.
Stay on topic. All right, here we go. What we got? They say she's scoffing on all the class. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. She's a nobody. Because if what she taught meant something, go get your own show and teach your people.
That's right. That's right.
But we appreciate you for tuning in. We love the views. We thank you.
Thank you for the hate.
Oh, we got
Thank you for the hate.
Got it.
Fire them up.
Hey, Shalom, caller. What's your name? Question or comment? Where you calling from?
Shalom. Elijah, New Jersey.
What's going on, boss man? What's your question or comment?
Question is, should I speak to my Esau neighbors that are all surrounding me?
Absolutely. With a smile on your face.
Okay.
The scripture says, hey, keep peace with all men. Keep peace with all men. You never know when you might need a good Esau neighbor. You might need a jump one day in the morning. You might need you might be out of town. You might say, hey, if anything happens, make sure you call the police if you see something. So you always want to keep peace with people that you're around.
It's not a sin to It's not a sin to talk to them.
Right.
The Bible says don't trust them. So
all praises, all praises.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a outfalling with a couple of my neighbors just this past summer. So, I just been keeping that at bay from all of them because they all been acting the fool these past few months.
Yeah, we ain't telling
so I was
you.
just wondering.
We ain't telling you got to go over there and have dinner and all that. Yeah, we just keep it cordial. Keep it cordial. That's all.
Don't do them like the soundbite.
Okay.
Hey, Esau. Don't do that.
We appreciate you for calling in and listening to the show, bro.
Okay, all praises. Take care.
All right,
Most High Christ bless.
Most High Christ bless.
You didn't ask him if he knew what insidious meant.
Come on now, dog.
All right, with that article, scroll down to the next section of the article. Come on, scroll. All right. Discredit them to destroy them. You might have already been.
Hold on. So throughout this article, it hits the key points of how they destroy black leaders. Correct, Micaiah?
Yes, sir.
So we hitting some of these points. Go ahead.
Discredit them to destroy them. You might have already been affected by their campaign to discredit leaders and movements. Have you ever heard of a black man or woman clowning conscious revolutionaries, promoting disunity, or saying, we don't need a black movement? If so, you may be implicit in campaigns to discredit black leaders. Discrediting one's opponents is a well-known political strategy. By discrediting an individual or their reason for fighting, members of an organization begin to view their leader or their reason for fighting in a more negative or irrelevant light. Eventually, the will to fight will be eroded and faith in the leader will be diminished. Discrediting a leader, organization, or cause does not come directly from the individual or organization attacking it. For instance, politicians use super PACs, political action committees, that raise and spend vast amounts of money for the sole purpose of supporting or opposing political candidates. With a super PAC engaged in mudslinging, dirty politics, and otherwise unethical behavior, a politician may keep his hands clean while discrediting his opponent. Likewise, politicians or organizations that seek to prevent the rise of a unified black movement will use the media, other organizations, and other influential individuals to discredit, distract, and destroy.
So this happens every time somebody leaves. They always try. Y'all don't notice they always trying to find ex-members.
Yeah.
Always trying to find ex-members to discredit what's going on. But guess what? When you leave, you just prove you didn't believe. That's all that. It don't change nothing. That's all that means. That person did not believe the movement.
Right.
They didn't believe in Christ. That's simple. Go ahead, okay.
Real-world examples. By studying the techniques with which the counterinsurgency war against the party was waged, we can collectively begin to devise the ways and means by which to counter them or offsetting and eventually neutralizing their effectiveness. Here are 3 real-world examples of each technique used against black movements and messiahs. 1. Black politicians. To prevent the political...
Hold on. I don't think I heard you right. Boom! Man, black politicians are used against us?
That's a weapon.
Black politicians is one of the 3 major ways in which they...
This should have been a bomb, a gunshot.
Something.
Back there sleep.
A reload.
They back there sleeping. Damn. So these politicians, contrary to popular belief, they are not for black liberation.
Nope.
Guess what? The Bible talks about that too. Let me get this. Should you read it first or should I go to the scripture? Let me know.
Go ahead. Go to the
Let's
scripture.
go to Isaiah. I want to preface this before we read
the
it.
vote? Can't rock the vote?
Nah.
Can't rock the vote?
Go to Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 14. 28 and 14.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 14. Wherefore, hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem.
What the Bible say? Ye what?
Ye scornful men.
That what?
That rule this people which is in Jerusalem.
That rule this people that are in Jerusalem. The Bible is speaking to one group of people.
That's right.
Some of y'all don't read the Bible. That's why it says black politicians. That's why it says ye scornful rulers in Jerusalem. Read.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death.
Hold on. These politicians have did what?
Have made a covenant with death.
Read.
And with hell are we at agreement.
They are in agreement with the conditions that we're in. Your celebrities too. That's why, guess what? When they show you at the Super Bowl, when the Super Bowl come on, what they do? Oh, LeBron James is here. Oh, Denzel Washington's here. Oh, Barack Obama's in the house. Because everybody's in agreement with America.
Right.
All of them. That's why they all take part in everything that is America. You will see them all at every event. What does LeBron James got to do with the Emmy Awards?
Bring it out.
What does Barack Obama got to do with the Super Bowl? Samuel L. Jackson. Because they all in agreement. They understand they have to be a part of this to keep America to where it's at. So they can continue to have their position. Keep reading.
When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us.
That's what they believe. They don't think destruction is going to come unto them. Read.
For we have made lies our refuge.
They have done what?
We have made lies our refuge.
Read.
And under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
And under falsehood. What's that falsehood? Politics. Being a Republican. Being a Democrat. Being a liberal. Being a pastor.
Bring it out.
Being part of the Catholic Church. The African Methodist Episcopal Church. All of these are falsehoods that you have hid under. You have not put on the fact that you are an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, from the tribe of Benjamin, tribe of Levi, so on and so forth. Nah, you want to hold on to their white man titles. Go ahead, McCoy.
To prevent the political empowerment of the black masses, politicians have been manipulated, bribed.
Oh, wait. My bad.
Go ahead.
Wait a second, Cap.
Yep.
Didn't the descendants of MLK state that they didn't want nobody celebrating it until they get voting rights passed?
There you go. That's what they said. That's what they said.
You want the weapon to be used. So it's showing you you was never included into it for your salvation.
There you go.
It's for your detriment.
From the jump. From the jump. Go ahead.
To prevent the political empowerment of the black masses, politicians have been manipulated, bribed, or turned into puppets for white supremacist agendas. The policies of previous American President Barack Obama supporting the war on Libya, AFRICOM, school closings, privatizations, bank bailouts, prosecuting whistleblowers, shielding banksters, and illegally using drones and missiles to assassinate American citizens are more right-wing than many of the policies passed by his predecessors.
You know, that's as wicked as hell, though. Why you bring out Obama, right, when they've been doing this from the beginning?
Right.
Well, only reason I could fathom is because it's in reference to black movements.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But they're covering their sins.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm
yeah.
getting at.
You
know what I'm saying? And then we get to pointing the finger at each other.
Black hate.
Go ahead.
I
Exactly.
was
They
gonna ask a
manufacturing that thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Gaddafi get killed under Obama?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, he
Same
did.
Gaddafi that was trying to basically get the oil over there to have the currency
and the new
more
currency,
than
right.
African Monetary Fund. Yep.
I think it goes into it in the article. Go ahead.
Barack Obama is not the only black politician to be held liable for our political disenfranchisement. This article from the Black Agenda Report sums it up the best. Scroll up. We're not going to read that. Today, we see the rise of new suspect political movements like ADOS in America and grassroots organizations encouraging black groups not to vote in places like Guyana. Real quick question. Have y'all ever heard of ADOS?
That's like the joining the African.
Nope. It's
descendants of slavery.
It's African descendants of slavery.
Right.
And the only reason I ever found out about them was because of Clubhouse.
Yeah, I was just about to say Clubhouse.
I never heard of ADOS prior to this.
Yep.
I was going to tell you might want to read that part.
The last part? That last part? Okay,
yeah.
all right. Let's jump back up.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Because this article's long.
Now we got time for this.
All praise.
Go ahead.
I see having their own show back there.
Right.
They got their own little sound bites to gear to them.
Wow.
The new black politicians drape themselves in kente cloth every now and then. And they remember King's birthday and Black History Month.
Damn.
They come together to celebrate and congratulate each other frequently at occasions like the Congressional Black Caucus's annual legislative conference. But their politics, black politics, haven't been reinvented.
So it's still the white man's agenda being pushed at those black caucuses. Good.
They've been compromised, hijacked, colonized.
Damn. White man parked in their brain.
Right.
Black politics is over. At least until the day when enough of us walk out of the Democratic Party to build something new, something that does not yet exist.
It don't exist.
Oh, boy.
Listen, when I read that, I was like,
that's heavy.
Listen, because we trying to get the hell up out of here.
Right.
So that's how I was looking at that. I'm like, yeah, it don't exist yet because we're trying to bring forth the kingdom by tearing down this one.
Hey, go to Isaiah 9 real quick.
Bring it out.
We go. No. So I want Isaiah 55:6. I want a government. The government shall be upon his shoulders.
Yeah, 9.
Yes, 9.
I want 9. This is what y'all got to understand. Politics is not the solution to the problems. I'm going to repeat it again. Politics is not the solution to our problems. We've been doing politics for hundreds of years now.
Right.
It ain't changed nothing. Over there in Africa, in the land, the motherland, I think I read the other day there's like been 100 coups in Africa.
Damn.
The white man run that land over there. If he wants something change, he'll give one leader a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of guns. They take it over. They control that. You're not going to do it through politics. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 6. For unto us a child is born.
Unto us a child is born. Hold on. There go that word again, us. Where's all nations at? Because all nations ain't go through COINTELPRO.
Right.
All nations ain't had a Messiah have to run into Egypt to avoid Herod.
Bring it out.
That didn't happen to everybody. Read.
Unto us a son is given. And the government shall be upon his shoulder.
Hold on. The Democratic Party going to be upon his shoulders.
And the government shall be upon his shoulder.
God's government is what's going to be on his shoulders.
That's right.
It ain't going to be a liberal party. It ain't going to be a black caucus. It ain't going to be none of that. It's going to be 144,000 delegates.
That's right.
All in submission to the laws of God. Read.
And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Read.
Of the increase of his government.
Unto the increase of his government that doesn't exist yet, but it's you seeing it built right before your eyes.
That's right.
Read.
And peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice.
Read.
From henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this.
The Lord will perform this thing.
Absolutely.
That's what y'all got to understand. His government amongst the nation of Israel will come to pass. Like the officer just brought out, it don't exist just yet.
Right.
But it's coming. And it ain't going to include all nations.
Right.
Y'all got to wake the hell up. All nations ain't worked since the Tower of Babel. It ain't worked and it ain't going to work. Go ahead. Get back to the article.
All right, scroll down. All right, suspect-backed organizations. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People was actually founded by wealthy Jews and white philanthropists.
So, hold on, Makai. Maybe one of y'all know. What's the deal with these Jews? Who are these Jews? Who are these Jews? I'm trying to get
those Jews.
Who are those
Jews?
Yeah.
They ain't the real Jews.
Well, I don't know.
Also, Banana knows who it is.
Who are those? The fake?
Hey, Banana. It's at the rim. It's at the rim, bro.
Talking about that
The
right
white folks.
now. Y'all in the spirit.
Oh, come on.
The enemy.
Let's get that in Revelation chapter 2, verse 9.
Thank you. You know what? I'm going to read it for you. That was laying literally on the rim.
I think
y'all falling off.
I'm going to use a soccer reference because, that's where I come from. That was like laying the ball right at the goal line. And all you have to do is blow,
and it's going
to be right in the goal.
Charlie Brown did.
Dang. Oh, man.
Hey, he doesn't play forward. He plays middlefield.
You know what? He probably over there watching the Super Bowl. That's right. What's the score, bro? What's the score?
Oh, man. So let's find out what the Bible say about these Jews that founded.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9.
Come on.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
He's talking about us, his people, God's chosen, who have gone through tribulation and poverty. But come on.
But thou art rich.
Because we are the ones who are going to get the kingdom of heaven. Read.
And I know the blasphemy.
The lies.
Of them which say they are Jews.
Which say they are Jews in word, but they are not Jews indeed. They are children of the flesh, not children of the promise. Come on.
And are not.
Read.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
Because they are the devil that the Bible speaks of. They lie about their heritage and who we are as well.
Man, yeah, in the spirit, man. Hey, I'm in the family text chat. Kevin always said about politics, right? Yeah. So I text, has politics saved us? Has Jim Crow Joe done anything for us? And I said, oh, yes, the Bible does support. No, I said, has Jim Crow Joe done anything for us?
Give us the context of the text chat. Who you text?
It's the family text chat.
Okay. The family text chat, trying to wake them up. All right.
So when you said that, I said, sidebar, politics, the solutions to all our problems.
Right.
Has Jim Crow Joe Biden made things better for us, for all you that voted for that devil?
Right.
And oh, yes, the Bible does support me calling him a devil.
Right.
And y'all coming right with
Right.
Stand him up in the family text chat. Right now, his answer is crickets.
All praises. All praises.
Them thumbs getting real hot right now, just typing back.
They ain't gonna say nothing. They got nothing to say.
Hey, let's read that. Let's read through this.
All right. For over 113 years, the NAACP has tried to control the political and social conversation of the black population at large. Marcus Garvey was very successful in all of his goals until he aroused jealousy from the Negroes in America.
Jealousy from who?
From the Negroes in America, who wanted to integrate with whites.
Oh, no. Damn.
They wanted Miss Becky.
They say, hey, bro, you doing too much stuff by yourself, man. You got to bring the white man in. Damn. Judah, we taking an L on that one. Go ahead.
Let me see. Marcus Garvey's foremost enemy was W.B. Du Bois of the NAACP, who called Garvey a black gorilla and led the campaign to support Garvey, called the Garvey Must Go campaign. Today, the NAACP continues to prove detrimental for the black men and women in America. For instance, on May 19th, 2012, the board of the NAACP endorsed marriage equality in a near unanimous vote by the 64-member body. Only 2 members voted against the resolution.
You can't speed past that.
Right. Bring it out.
Could you please highlight that and look up what marriage equality means?
Right.
And it's interesting that they mentioned that because, I don't know who's writing this article, but they're definitely not Bible-based. Right. But the fact that they understand that marriage equality is against the black man, that's a step in the right direction.
I mean, listen to it. You figure, it's probably like 50-50 or something like that, right?
All
what you said? Insidious.
Yep. Insidious.
Ain't nobody stealing code in and gave us a definition.
Just type in marriage equality definition.
You can't pronounce it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, click on that. Scroll down.
The definition of marriage equality. The situation in which same-sex couples had the same legal right to marry as opposite-sex couples.
So now go back to the article and read what it says in the article about marriage equality. Is that a benefit to our people?
Today, the NAACP continues to prove detrimental for the black men and women. For instance, on May 19, 2012, the board of the NAACP endorsed marriage equality.
That's genocide. That is genocide.
And all of them agreed to it.
Yes. This is what the white man, that's why I said it's a
2012. Who was in office then?
I knew you was going to bring it out.
Good old Barack Obama.
You see how it all goes inside. It all goes inside.
The president is black. My Lambo's that guy.
This is I was bumping that song too. I ain't gonna lie. That was in 2008 though.
We all bumped it. I got hoodwinked too, man.
Stupid.
Moms came to the crib, was like, because they call me Budgie or whatever. It's a penny. It's like, Budgie, you have to vote. It's a black man. It's a black man. You have to vote for him. That's all we knew. Yeah. Man, after that first term, I moved to Florida. I said, Joe, don't ever in your life come to me again about no foolishness about that. She's like, why? I said, listen, did your house get paid off?
Right.
Or did everybody lose their crib?
Right.
Then for the second term, unless you was a homosexual, you wasn't getting nothing out of it. So banks got the bread, and homosexuals got marriage equality.
You got Obama phone.
Right, that's what you got Obama phone.
Was it.
But it destroyed the black household.
Yep.
It went against everything that the Bible teaches about, because Bishop always going over this all the time. A strong nation is built on marriage. Marriage to your own people.
Yep.
And they said it was a detriment to us. And this was done from the people who's supposed to be for us.
Yep.
Come to find out, it's funded by the white man. Go figure.
Yep. And just like HBCU, same history.
Yep.
Same history. Go ahead. Keep reading.
We got a lot of history to bring out. Scroll down. We're gonna move past that. Let's go on to the next one. Actually, never mind. Let's scroll up a little bit.
Number 3 still, right? We got number 3 still.
But it says, but the NAACP is not the only suspect organization that hijacks black movements. Some well-known so-called black organizations have advocated shedding blood for the same nation that places them under mass surveillance while attacking other blacks.
Damn.
We don't want to say any names, ADOS.
You know what's funny? Who's not up there?
NFAC.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, hey, that too. Yep.
They hijacked the hell out of that thing, man.
For the marriage equality agenda.
There you go right there.
There you go. Yeah.
There goes something going right there.
Hijacking the media, number 3. The use of entertainment have been well-known weapons of mass distraction. With them Negro mind and body enslaved to carnal pleasures and entertainment, the soul and intellect cannot be stirred to revolution.
Hey, that's some heavy writing right there. Who this brother that's writing this, a sister, they in the spirit.
In the spirit, yes.
Give me that about the flood in Revelations. Because media is, that's huge. Hey, Mike Yell, I'm in a group chat too. All my old players. I guess Kendrick Lamar, he having a performance, and he got brothers up there on the stage. They talking like, hey, y'all, Kendrick Lamar flew y'all out there. It's like he got a whole bunch of black men with damn blonde hair. Like hell no, yeah.
Wow.
Look at that. That people crazy.
Man, cousin Carl, you would have called that brother and tell him?
Yeah, man.
Remind that brother. Cousin Carl, you fell off too.
Go ahead, you got that?
The book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 15. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood.
So Esau uses the media. He uses the media to catch us up. It said, and that's what we're reading in this article. It says they hijacked the media. Read.
Yep. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
The woman is Israel, Jeremiah 6:2. That's why all the media, I got to reread this book again. When last time one of y'all read the book called Brainwash? Isn't y'all read it? It goes heavy into the media and how they do certain things to manipulate our behaviors. I gotta reread it because it got a lot of heavy
post
stuff
that,
in there.
Cap,
Yeah.
so we get that thing.
But the media is Captain Zakar posted a video during his class the other day with the homosexual dude. I don't know if y'all saw it. You saw it? It had a dude on a Samsung video, black dude looking like a homosexual, and it's like a quick 10 seconds video, but it's like nothing's wrong with it. Everything they do is targeted at us. It's targeted at us through the media. Go ahead.
Go behind that. Go to Daniel 9 and 7.
Bring it up.
Because that picture just traumatized me, man. Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
You going in, talking about the media. What's the issue with it? Daniel 9 and 7.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces.
Bro, we confused, bro. And the media has confused us. There was a video with a commercial, I think it was Amazon, something. It was for some kind of holiday. In a quick clip, you seen a black dude and a white dude in a hot tub together.
Wow.
But it was real quick.
Yep.
If you wasn't paying attention, you would just go right by you.
Yep.
So we confused, bro. Keep reading on that. There's more than that.
Hey, I just want to say this. You remember we did the show when what's the basketball player? The big basketball player was in the hot tub.
Amari Stoudemire.
Amari Stoudemire was in
bathing in wine with the Edomite. Damn. Confused as hell, thinking he's Jewish. Read more on that.
As at this day, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them.
Like you said, we in the first scripture, oppressed together. He said, all Israel, we are some confused people. Then he realized that, hey, sometimes I forget, 2/3 got to go.
Yep.
All right. 2/3 got to go.
Got to go. Hey, keep reading the article. You may not personally
listen to these cartoon characters, but your children do. These children will grow up with the seeds of ignorance planted within them, and they will be ever more disinterested in participating in anything associated with black consciousness.
This what y'all they attacking from the from a childhood all the way up. They have a game plan for us.
They actually talking about you ain't got to click on it. If you scroll back up to there's an article that's above it. That right there are black celebrities being used as weapons against black culture.
Weapons. Yep. So they know how to weaponize us against us, but then when we try to weaponize ourselves, they say, "No, you can't do that.
Right.
You got to die when that happens."
Right. Exactly.
He saw the damn.
Hey, this is on a semi-related note, but I was watching a documentary about it about health and diet. But one of the things that they was pushing though, that they brought out was, which I thought was super heavy, was y'all remember them Got Milk commercials from the 90s.
Right.
Those, at the time, they had studies showing, and the big corporations knew that milk really didn't benefit you in the way that they said it did.
Right, exactly.
But what they did was push it anyway, and they mostly pushed it on kids because, you know, I had milk mustache all day.
I ate cereal all the time, thought it was doing something good.
Yeah. I loved whole milk, the whole thing. But as a matter of fact, it does the opposite. It makes your bones more porous.
Wow.
And but what I was talking to my rib about, because we was watching that thing together, like anything that they push to children, you have to understand that that's evil, because that's what they do with the trans story time. With the cartoons, they push this crazy mess. So anything that you see that your children is getting fed, you got to watch out for that thing.
And look at the time when they were bringing out WIC. What's it filled with?
Right.
Milk, cheese, dairy products.
Look at school lunch. We might gotta do it. We gotta do a show on school lunch.
Yeah.
Bruh, they had us eating milk at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
With pizza. Who the hell drink milk and pizza, bruh?
Hey, I was on that chocolate milk. I was on that.
Chocolate milk and pizza and corn on the cob at the same time.
Right.
He's on the damn devil, bruh.
And sometimes the pizza had stuffed crust.
Right, bruh.
Yeah.
We was eating that's slave food, bruh.
Yeah.
He needs some milk.
Because you know what? They know the white man, they gonna bring their own lunch. Because they got mama and daddy at home. And they're gonna eat their food from the house.
The high school, my little brother got to go to the one out in Long Island. We was living up there. That thing was completely different.
Completely different.
One, the food was different too. They let them out to go eat the lunch. They was never doing that. We grew up in the city. Because we was never coming back to school. So
Yeah, you ain't lying. School I worked at in Tallahassee, they had off-campus lunch. They could go off campus to go eat lunch, bro.
Dang, that's
crazy.
Prison lunch.
Prison lunch.
Prison lunch.
Prison lunch.
So Micaiah, so in short, what you saying is, whatever you see that's mainstream for kids is evil.
It's evil as hell.
Pretty much anything you see as mainstream is evil.
Is evil. Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Disney message.
Right.
Message.
I'm still gonna watch Lion King though. All right.
That's why you got to subscribe to IUIC TV.
That's
what
right.
you say? What you say?
I said that's why you got to subscribe to IUIC TV.
IUIC TV.
Come on. All right. The secret psychological war on black men and women via the media and hip hop is covered in detail in the Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop by Professor Griff. Get it, read it, discuss it, and teach it. The weapons being used against us have grown ever more sophisticated. Our people are less willing to fight for themselves than ever before, and our conditions continue to disintegrate. Meanwhile, the FBI in the United States has launched COINTELPRO 2.0 by labeling black Americans as identity extremists. Yeah, go ahead and play this right here. This going to get into the understanding on what COINTELPRO has done in the past and how it's evolved today.
The report identified black identity extremists as a threat to law enforcement. Critics say the report is eerily similar to the FBI's 20th century counterintelligence program.
COINTELPRO was an FBI operation established in the 50s by J. Edgar Hoover to target African Americans who were fighting for justice and equality. He targeted Dr. King, he targeted Malcolm X, and over 80% of the targets of COINTELPRO were members of the Black Panther Party.
At the height of COINTELPRO, activists and community organizers were targeted. These include current Congressional Black Caucus members like John Lewis, Bobby Rush, Emmanuel Cleaver, and Barbara Lee.
The church committee in the mid-70s held hearings and determined that many of the actions and activities of COINTELPRO were really unconstitutional.
What you've described is a series of illegal actions intended squarely to deny First Amendment rights to some Americans. How shall we ensure that it never happen again?
One of the similarities that I see are that it's based on race. You know, COINTELPRO definitely targeted African Americans, black identity extremists, which turned.
Now, she just said it out of her own mouth. She's not a black Hebrew Israelite.
Nope.
So where y'all get all nations from being saved and delivered when only black It says it, black identity extremists. It don't say white identity extremists. It don't say Chinese identity extremists. It don't say Taiwan identity extremists. It don't say Arab identity. Everything is targeted against the black and brown man in America.
That's right.
Everything. So don't come to us with that doctrine of God coming to save everybody. Everybody don't need to be delivered. Because everybody ain't getting their leaders' heads blown off.
Bring it out.
Nope. It really pisses me off.
Black people loving their own people.
Tell them why you're mad.
God,
that's extreme.
Speak your truth. Speak your truth.
Man, go ahead, press play.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions has put out targets African Americans. When it was brought to our attention, we immediately contacted the FBI director and had a very forthright meeting. I specifically asked him, how do they identify black identity extremists? Who are they? And there was no answer to that. We still don't know who's a black identity extremist.
A lot of activists around the country are very concerned that we're getting ready to repeat a very sad chapter of our history, where people who are rightfully protesting what they consider to be an injustice in their community, which is their relationship with police officers, are now being targeted and labeled as extremists and are going through periods of surveillance and harassment.
As a community worker, I attended many Black Panther Party functions. I was part of the breakfast program. We registered many people, the African American community and others, to vote. Well, the FBI during COINTELPRO would try to turn members of the Black Panther Party against each other. Agent provocateurs were placed within the party to try to sow dissent.
I was the coordinator of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. In December 4th, 1969, Fred Hampton and Mark Clark, two members of the Black Panther Party, were murdered. And they put an informant, William O'Neill, planted him inside the Panther Party.
We can mourn today, but if we understood Fred, that we are dedicated, that his life wasn't given in vain.
The national director of FBI said that the Black Panther Party was the #1 threat to national security of this nation. And that created the condition for law enforcement agents all across this nation to go after Panther. That program that they did, in some sense, we ought to be thankful for, because that put in writing for everybody to see we're still in the eyes of so many, nothing but a bunch of.
Speaking the truth right there.
Was I surprised? No. I fully expected it to happen. Now the question is, how do we deal with it?
People need to get to their members of Congress and get them to copy this report.
Yeah, that's the sleeping pill right there.
Get to the members of Congress.
Come on,
that's exactly what the article just mentioned, though. The black politicians, they gonna make you circle back to that solution is not a solution at all. That's approved by the white man that they want you to push. We have, since the Voting Act in 1965, we have not had any benefit from voting or politics.
Hey,
give me the nation that cannot save us.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
And why he getting that is Bishop always bring this out. How do all these revolutionary leaders, these men were right beside Fred Hampton.
Bring it out, Cap.
Right beside Edward Clear. All these, how are y'all still alive?
They gave them jobs.
How are y'all still, and I ain't gonna wish death on nobody. But it's just like,
Cool.
The real leaders got killed off.
Angela Davis worked for the University of Chicago.
Right.
Geraldo Rivera's on Fox.
Right.
Yep.
What's the name? Reverend Al Sharpton's on MSNBC.
The one who just passed. What's his name?
John Lewis was a senator.
Lewis,
yeah.
So you know the government is who conspired to kill you, yet you're a politician now?
It ain't changed a damn thing.
Hey, you know, we brought this out before. John Lewis was a POW at one point.
Right.
And he said that march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, how they had been done worse. He had seen
he'd been in
worse.
War. Yeah.
by the Alabama state troopers.
Wow.
Then by the German military.
Wow.
And he ended up being a politician.
Damn. Go ahead, read that scripture.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
So she's going back to a nation that can't sit. Talking about Congress. Go talk to your congressman. Sister, they cannot save us. You should know that. You of all people should know that. You in there.
In it.
Hey, pull up Article 5 real quick. Pull up Article 5. I want to get this out before the end of the show because this shows this is gonna be the nail in the coffin to show you that COINTELPRO ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
And that the black identity extremist movement or the black identity extremist rhetoric from the FBI is alive and well.
And that movie showed you that it was more than one informant in the Panthers.
Yep. Hey, I also wanted to say, it's funny that it's called Black Identity. Nobody teaches identity except for the Israelites.
That's right.
So who are they talking about? They talking about IUIC. They talking about the Israelite movement. Ain't nobody identifying no identity.
Bring it out.
Except for the Israelites. We the only people that put a nationality on our people. Go ahead.
Mysterious death leave Ferguson activists on pins and needles. 6 people in the Ferguson, Missouri activist community have been found dead in the 4 years since Michael Brown was killed.
So the leaders are getting killed off.
The main people who was pushing for justice for Michael Brown, systematically, one by one, they all got murdered in mysterious ways. And this article goes into it. It's been 4.5 years since the death of 18-year-old Michael Brown, the unarmed young black man whose shooting by police officer Darren Wilson sparked protests and riots in Ferguson, Missouri, helping to solidify the Black Lives Matter movement. Though the unrest is over, his passing is still deeply felt in the community, particularly among activists who say they are receiving anonymous threats following reports of deaths in their community. Since the 2014 shooting, about 6 people connected to the protests following Brown's death have died, some in violent, mysterious ways, the Associated Press reports. While police say there is no evidence that foul play was involved in the men's deaths, those within the community report feeling as if they're on pins and needles. Scroll up. Reverend Darrell Gray said the prominent African-American leader added that he has received anonymous threats and that he recently found an unmarked box containing a 6-foot python in his car. Most recently, Bassem Masri, 31, was found unresponsive on a bus in November 2018 and was later pronounced dead. A toxicology report revealed he had a heart attack following a fentanyl overdose. Masri was well known in the community for live streaming and participating in the Ferguson protests, telling an interview in 2014 that he did so because he believed the mainstream media ain't gonna say the truth about Brown's death. They ain't never gonna say the truth. They got their own narratives. Scroll down. 2 other men connected to the protests, Darren Seals, 29, and DeAndre Joshua, 20, were found killed under similar circumstances. Joshua was found dead in a torch car in November 2014 during the Ferguson protests. 2 years later, Seals was found dead in a torch car after having been shot.
Damn.
Both men were active in the protest community. Seals, for instance, was seen on video footage comforting Brown's mother, Leslie McSpadden, at a protest in 2014. Following Seals' death, Sergeant Sean McGuire, police spokesman for St. Louis County, vowed to look into whether there was a link between the 2 deaths. They are aware that DeAndre Joshua died in the same kind of way, he told the Daily News in 2016. Anything's possible. Our detectives are always going to look into different avenues, or if it's the same kind of motives. So what this article doesn't say is that the second guy that they mentioned, who was shot and then burned in his car, the official report from the coroner said that it was a suicide. So he shot himself.
And then he set himself on fire.
And then he set himself on fire.
Right.
Wow. Can't do both.
No. But there's another instance where one of the 6 that they were referring to, he got killed in his neighborhood, but it was like an assassination because whoever rolled up on him, the eyewitnesses said they rolled up, killed him, and then rolled off. It was like, and it was like he had one in the head and one in the shoulder. It was precision. You're not dealing with
shooting like that.
You ain't dealing with somebody who
Tyrone Biggums can't shoot like that.
Right? Nah, not like that. Not like that, and not that quickly.
Right.
These are trained assassins who are coming to your door.
Could have even been 2 shooters in that car.
Could have been. And one got you here and one got you there. They rolled off on them. But with each of these instances, they show how we're being attacked just for voicing our First Amendment rights.
Right.
And
they don't come in here with that right stuff.
First Amendment. I just want to
You
pull
ain't got
one.
no rights, brother. You
Denison. Yeah.
Hey, IT, pull that up. What I just sent to y'all. I just want to read this right quick. Hey, go ahead, Nancy.
Hey, Shalom caller, what's your name? Question or comment? Where you calling from?
Shalom, that's Soldier Man.
Hey, Shalom Soldier, what you got for us?
Hey, that brother DeAndre Joshua.
Yeah.
They actually been targeting him for a while because he's like a well-known activist in St. Louis, and that brother's been receiving like hate mail and a bunch of stuff like that for years.
Wow.
And because he was on the front page in like the media, he was like one of the main spokesmen for the protest, like somebody that they would interview, asking like what they, what's the cause and things like that.
Right.
And so when that thing happened, it was obvious what happened to that brother because he'd always been in the front face of the people when it was time to march and protest.
Right. Damn. So they took one of the more well-known leaders to scatter everybody else.
Right. Yeah, everybody knew that brother.
Damn. Hey, we appreciate you for calling in with that info, bro.
All right, shalom.
What you got for us, Kim Urel?
All right, I just wanted to, so they don't think I was making up what I said. Go ahead and read that. Edmund Pettus Bridge. Read it right there.
With 17 hospitalized, a Good Samaritan.
Read the Edmund Pettus.
Edmund Pettus Bridge.
Know where it happened. Okay.
With 17 hospitalized, a Good Samaritan hospital for fractured legs, arms, ribs, and heads, and another 40 treated for the effects of tear gas and minor wounds in the emergency room. Some 200 troopers.
How many?
Some 200 troopers and posse men with riot guns, pistols, tear guns, and nightsticks later chased all the Negro residents out of the Brown Chapel Methodist Church area into their apartments and houses. At the mass meeting of some 700 people who gathered in Brown's Chapel, Hosea Williams, who in the absence of Dr. King had led the march alongside African-American civil rights leader John Lewis, quietly observed, "I had fought in World War II."
Okay, it was Hosea Williams that said it. Okay. Go ahead.
"I had fought in World War II, and I once was captured by the German army, and I want to tell you the Germans never were as inhuman as the state troopers of Alabama."
Damn. That's crazy. White man's the damn devil.
Right.
The white man is the devil. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock, y'all. We gonna keep this topic going next week. We gonna keep it flowing because this is the history that the white man ain't gonna teach you. He ain't gonna never tell you this stuff. Never in a million years is he gonna stand up. You think the white middle-aged woman is gonna stand up in front of a black classroom and talk about COINTELPRO? Nope. You think the white middle-aged male is gonna stand up and talk about Malcolm X? Hell no. So that's why you gotta come to the prophets to get this understanding.
That's right.
Y'all wasting time, man.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.